Hey, I wanted to personally take this time.
So my name is Dr. Deja Andrews, and I came for a quick second just to welcome.
Hey, it's your girl Deja, and of course, she's on purpose. I am a purpose ambassador. I used to say purpose coach, but I think I'm more of a purpose ambassador. Not I think I know. I'm more of a purpose ambassador than I am a coach. And the reason why I say that is because I am advocating. I am the advocate for your purpose. I am probably going to be one of the loudest advocates for you discovering and figuring out what your purpose is. And I say discovering because, or uncovering, because it's something that's already there within you, right? It's just you taking the time and having a guide to help you get to that place. But I'm gonna be honest with you. It's been it was hard when I chose that word ambassador, right? And the reason why it was hard because, like many of you, I too have suffered with like that whole imposter syndrome, right? And from an aspect of feeling like I don't have it all figured out. I don't have it all 100% together. You know, I've seen so many successful people, and it's like they have these stories, right? These great, amazing stories of triumph and resilience, and they've overcome all these things. And it's like, okay, they overcame, and now they're either very wealthy, they're very well off, or they are successful in their own right, right? And they don't really ever talk to you anymore about what challenges are they facing now, because if you are 100% real with yourself, you know that the challenges don't stop. And so for me, choosing that word ambassador was a really tough thing because I felt like I needed to have it all together first. And what I realized is that I don't, and I never will. And I am not going to tell you that you're going to have to either. Life is going to be different every day, right? It's going to be different every day. I can tell you easily about how I was 13 and pregnant, right? In foster home, mom on crack, died of AIDS, didn't really know my dad, didn't see my dad. And when I turned 18 and started looking for him, I found out later on that he died 3 days before I turned 18, right? And started searching for him. So had I, you know, had I been focused on where I've come from, right? Or the things that I've overcome, I would have never chose that word ambassador, right? I'd rather talk to you about where I am right now and how just last year, for about 7 months, 6 months out of the year, 7 months out of the year, I was living in a hotel with my son and my grandson. Yeah. And I can easily blame the fact that, my leaseholder didn't want to renew my lease, right? But why didn't they want to renew my lease? I have been late on my rent 3 times in that first year, and that's their rules. Can't fault them for not, for following their rules, right? That's their rules. I could say I couldn't find a lease in time, and we had to be out, and there was nothing else to do, and I can say, I can blame it on a lot of things, but in all honesty, I was not at a place where I wasn't at a place mentally, right? I wasn't at a place emotionally where I could have been more proactive how I used to be. I was in a very isolated, depressed state. And many people saw me show up online and saw me show up at events and saw me show up smiling and seemingly happy and having it all together. But I was a functional, depressed woman. I really, really was functionally depressed, contemplating taking my life any day, right? Feeling like my kids will be better off, my grandkids will be better off with the life insurance that they're gonna get. You know, and coming from having a life insurance background, I know that even if I took my own life, that I was out of that 2-year period. I didn't have to worry about them denying the policy. I had contemplated all these things and like really planned it out, and still showing up every day, pouring into people, showing up every day, being an ambassador for people's purpose. And although I know that I know my purpose, although that I know, you know, who and whose I am, it still did not take away that overwhelming feeling of loneliness, that overwhelming feeling of failure, right? That overwhelming feeling of just, will I ever really have the life that I want for more than a little bit of time? Those are the things that people are not talking to us about. Those are the things that our mentors and the people that we look up to are not helping us understand how to get through. And I just remember laying in that bed one night and just deciding that this is it. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to feel this anymore. I don't want to be lonely anymore. I don't want to feel like more of a burden to my purpose than a participant in it. I just didn't want to feel anything anymore. I didn't want to feel like a failure. I didn't want to feel like I was unlovable or unworthy to be loved the way that I want to be loved. I just didn't want any of it anymore. And I remember laying in that bed with those pills in my hand. I remember the note that I left. And I remember the calls that I made that day. And I just played that back in my mind. And I said, I feel like this would be an opportune time. I'm okay with this today. I'm okay with this today. I hate that my grandson or my son would have to find me like this. But I'm okay with this today. And hopefully after they read this letter, they'll understand. I remember really being at peace with that. And I've been depressed before, and I felt lonely before, but I never felt like what I was dealing with at the end of 2022. And it seems so far, like so long ago now, but it really wasn't. But I was okay. And then Alexa just came on, and she started saying, Daisha, remember who you are. You've done your best today. You are loved by God. You're chosen by God. You're protected by God. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Everything that you desire, you deserve. She just started speaking life into me. And it was in that moment, listening to Alexa repeat the words that I had programmed her to say, like so long ago, repeating at the same time that she would every night. And hearing basically me speak to me was enough for me to realize that this is not it. There is someone out there waiting for me still. There's someone out there waiting for my piece of the puzzle so that they can activate their purpose. There is someone out there. And while I'm feeling all these feelings, there is purpose in this as well. So I was able to put those pills down and pick up my journal and start writing and start doing what I knew to do best, not wait for anyone to come save me. But in that moment, I realized I had to save myself. I had to remind myself who I was, whose I was. I had to remind myself that this too shall pass. So if you don't get anything ever from me, the one thing I want you to remember, the one thing I want you to really never forget to hold on to in those moments when you are feeling your lowest, in those moments when you are feeling like this is it, I am done, I don't want to do this anymore, I'm better off. Remember who you are at your core. Remember whose you are. And remember, there is someone, somewhere, waiting on you to play full out, waiting on you to walk authentically in your purpose with those feelings and all. There's someone waiting on you so that they can be activated, so that they can walk in their purpose. Somebody's waiting. Don't let them down. Don't say I never told you nothing.